Weather Channel, bringing weather to life.
High winds batter signs and trees in the New Orleans suburbs as the strength of Katrina makes its move into the Gulf Coast.
Hey, good morning from Gulfport, Mississippi here, where we continue to see the winds pick up. We've even been under a tornado warning at times. You can see the winds definitely blowing these oak leaves around. A few branches down, but we still got power right now. We'll give you a live report here coming up from Gulfport.
Hey, good morning, Jim. We still got power here in Mobile, Alabama as the wind and rain picks up ahead of Hurricane Katrina.
And huge lines of people attempt to seek shelter in the New Orleans Superdome. These are the ones who could not manage to leave a city that could be flooded by the approaching hurricane. And good morning, everyone. I think it's more of a reality now about the flooding. We have some reports south of the tidal lakes of 3 to 10 inches of rainfall. That's been unconfirmed, but it's Doppler estimate.
And obviously more still yet to fall, a lot more. The Weather Channel is in storm alert for the latest on a hurricane of historic proportions.
Let's go ahead and give you now the latest advisory where we have right now the winds of 150 miles per hour around the center, and hurricane force winds extending out over 100 miles. Tropical storm force winds over 200 miles from the center. It's moving north at 15, so it's picked up in forward speed. The pressure is 917 millibars. Again, that northern eye wall now coming ashore.
Now, we're of course watching the progress of this, and the projected path does take it northward. There's going to be a lot more rain out of this, so flooding is going to be a problem throughout to the day and into tonight, all the way up into Mississippi, Tennessee, and eventually into the Ohio Valley.
And Grand Island, we just got a report 114 mile per hour winds now with that eye wall.
Obviously, we are into what will be the crunch period for the Gulf region.
That's right. Now we have live team coverage as Hurricane Katrina batters the Gulf. Meteorologist Jim Cantori is in Gulfport, Mississippi, and meteorologist Mike Seidel is live in Mobile, Alabama.
Now, Jim, how bad are the conditions where you are right now?
Well, Nick, I'm going to say winds right now are easily gusting over 40 miles an hour. I'm just going to have my cameraman pan around. You can kind of see off a little away from where we are near the building here, perhaps a little protected. But certainly, you know, occasionally a little branch will just kind of fly across the parking lot. We'll see a little blue flash off in the distance. So power outages definitely a possibility here. The winds are, I mean, just torrential rains. You guys have been mentioning the rainfall this morning. It is just pounding rain here right now. I mean, just a complete dump of rain. We did have a gentleman go down and shoot some video for us this morning, and he said he didn't get close to the water, so we can't tell if the water's coming up at this point, but I would imagine it is, obviously, because we're going to be on the right side of that hurricane. All right, we're going to be on the worst side of that, so we are going to get a surge component in through here. And folks, you know what? Just because it's not 175 or 160, it's still 150 miles an hour. Okay, that's the hurricane we're dealing with here. This is a tremendously strong hurricane here, and we have not dealt, I want to let everybody know this, a fraction of this hurricane. There will be a time this morning where we will not be able to broadcast, all right? And obviously when that time comes, you're going to know about it because we won't be on the air anymore. But we will let you know what's going on out here, hopefully by phone, as long as we can. But right now, obviously, we're not doing too bad. But occasionally, we will see a gust come along, perhaps even greater than 40 miles an hour. Certainly, we anticipate that to be in a big, big hurry before the afternoon or the morning is out. So this thing's going to come in, looks like during the daylight hours, guys. And hopefully we can show you the pictures of just how incredible a Category 4 hurricane is. But more than likely, when it gets that bad, we won't be able to do that. Let's head off toward the east. Mike Seidel is in Mobile. Mike, you dealt with some bands last night, heavy rain, even some tornado warnings for that area. How are things going in Mobile this morning?
Hey, Jim, good morning. We've got a tornado warning right now. The next county over to our east, that's Baldwin County, one of the two coastal counties, Baldwin and Mobile. Baldwin under a tornado warning until 15 after the hour, about another 10 minutes. And here in Mobile County, we're under a flash flood warning until 8 o'clock this morning. Already Doppler estimates of 2 to 3 inches of rain. It's raining moderately hard right now. The wind's running about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Our peak gust so far is up there at 45, 46 miles an hour between the airport here and the airport downtown. We are safe from any surge issues. We're well away from the Mobile River and Mobile Bay. But again, we are far from the worst of the storm. Our power flickered a few minutes ago. It's still on. We'll see how long that lasts. And obviously, the weather is going to go downhill all across southern Alabama and the western Florida Panhandle over the next 6-7 hours. Kim and Nick, We'll hunker down and, as Jim said, try to broadcast as long as possible.
And Mike, we want to let you know, too, we just got word that northern Mobile County now under a tornado warning, so be careful, okay? All right, we'll check back with you.
Okay, that's just north of here. All
right, let's go ahead and show you what it looks like on satellite, where that northern eye wall coming in, and there's Grand Isle. That's sustained winds of 61 miles per hour, again with the wind gusts 114, 115 miles per hour. The east side, again, is where we're going to see the most damage from this. Here it is on radar, and you can see where the heavy rain, where you see the oranges and yellows. And again, some reports south of New Orleans around the tidal lakes of 3 to 10 inches of rainfall already. As a matter of fact, at Lakefront, we had over an inch and a half almost in an hour here. So flooding, a huge concern with this. And of course, that threat will be even farther north. Now there's that tornado watch in effect till noon. And here it is by this evening, causing all kinds of problems here into Mississippi. Nick?
And our continuing coverage of Hurricane Katrina does continue all morning long here on the Weather Channel as we remain in storm alert.
I'm Jeff Morrow in Covington, Louisiana. Yeah, we're starting to feel the effects of Katrina for sure. Power flashes on the horizon. We've lost power in this area. We'll give you a live update here in just a moment, talk about the driving rain and how bad we think it's going to get. Stay tuned here to the Weather Channel.
Did you know Honda makes portable generators? Well, they do, and they're perfect for camping, working anywhere you need, for all kinds of RV comforts like air conditioning, or for emergency backup. Lightweight and quiet, Honda's got a generator that's right for you. See the CU 2000? Two of them provided enough power to film this entire commercial. Honda, the power of choice. Call us for the dealer nearest to you or shop online now at honda.com.
Now you can shop online at gen.honda.com. Honda generators are available at a dealer near you.
The Kia Amante. Rich leather. 9-speaker CD sound system. Power everything. Spacious and comfortable. With 8 standard airbags and all backed by a 10-year warranty program. The Kia Amante Premium Sedan. It's time for everyone to start living big.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Currently, the temperature is 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Here's our local Doppler radar. Today, slight chance of a thunderstorm, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. For tonight, cloudy with showers and thunderstorms. Humid, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. On Tuesday, rain showers in the morning with scattered thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon. Humid, high 82. Chance of rain 50%. The week ahead. Incidents and construction impacting our area. Traffic flow for our area.
very latest on very powerful Hurricane Katrina. Winds right now 150 miles per hour around the center. It is moving north now and has picked up in forward speed to 15 miles per hour. The pressure has come up through the morning, 917 millibars. But again, don't let your guard down. Andrew came through South Florida with a pressure of 922 millibars.
Yeah, Katrina has weakened slightly overnight to a very strong Category 4 hurricane, but just a very small difference between this strong Category 4 and a Category 5. Landfall is imminent in southeastern Louisiana. The impacts will spread north ahead of the center. We've already seen hurricane-force wind gusts and heavy downpours of rain.
And earlier we've had reports from Mike Seidel and Jim Cantori, but now Jeff Morrow is joining us from Covington, Louisiana.
And Jeff, how are things holding up there where you are?
Well, the wind's been, it's been fairly steady. I wouldn't call it tropical storm force, maybe a few gusts up to about 40 miles an hour or so, 30 to 40 miles an hour. So we really haven't seen much in the way of any debris flying, but obviously as this hurricane continues to move north and continues to come inland and pass us, and we think that will probably, the eye of the hurricane right now will probably go by just to our east. We'll be on the western eye wall. Things will get obviously a lot worse with a very strong northerly wind. That kind of northerly wind is just going to blow right across Lake Pontchartrain. Right now the winds with the hurricane are pushing gently from the east, and that is piling water from the Gulf of Mexico into Lake Pontchartrain. You can see these spiral bands of moisture, and you can just imagine the wind kind of spiraling around the hurricane as well. Very heavy downpours. We've had some pretty steady, I'd call it moderate rain here so far, kind of blowing sideways in these gusts. But again, as the hurricane passes and the wind turns to the north, that's when Pontchartrain could get blown to the south and, well, maybe impact the levee system there. Let's hope it doesn't breach it and push that water down into the New Orleans area. That's what people there are most concerned about, of course. New Orleans had a very rough night last night. We've lost power here. In some areas, our hotel, we got up, it was still on, but as soon as we walked into the lobby, out went the lights, and that's probably going to be it for the rest of the afternoon. As we got here, we've seen power flashes, the transformers popping. You see that little blue glow, and then it kind of fades away, and you know more power is gone. So obviously in these kind of winds, we're already seeing that it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to be a while before we get power, and we got a lot of trees around us here. You'll be able to see that when the sun comes up, and that's something we're going to have to watch out for very closely as well. Again, we're in Covington. We're right along Interstate 12. We're north of Lake Pontchartrain, and we'll keep you updated here as we head on through the rest of the afternoon as long as we can physically keep the shot up. Because obviously when it gets bad, we may have to come down. Let's get back to you guys now. Kim and Nick.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And you know, we're concerned about folks even farther north with power outages today.
No doubt about that. There have been, of course, road closures due to heavy rain falling and evacuation procedures. Some roads remain open, though, at this hour.
And if folks might be interested in I-10, of course, I-10 westbound at the Louisiana state line is closed and no one should be traveling there.
Right.
But I-10, the bridge over the Escambia Bay around Pensacola, checked on that, and it is still open. Last night traffic was very heavy with folks heading eastbound. This morning, as you make your way out there, we are dealing with tropical storm force wind gusts, and we are also dealing with some rain bands coming through that region. I want to take you to the airports and show you what we have in terms of airport closures. Both airports in New Orleans, the International and the Lakefront, are closed. There is no reopen time set as of yet. Gulfport, Biloxi closed. Mobile airports there closed as well. Travelers, let's get a look at conditions throughout the region. Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Nashville, all airports we need to watch for as conditions go downhill. In Nashville, especially as we go through the day into tomorrow. And showing you right now what we have going on SkyTracker radar in terms of the extent of where we're seeing the rainfall here. I want to show you I-10 and talk about the rain well to around Baton Rouge and well to the west of there, and then all the way to the east, heading over into the Pensacola area. Here's some rain bands stretching that far, and as far north as Jackson, where we are getting some showers, and I-20. And I-20 is going to be a tough go of it from Jackson over to Tuscaloosa and Birmingham today. All right, the forecast for today, I-55 and I-65, and in between the two, watching for the potential of flooding as we continue to watch the track of Katrina heading northward, the rain heading northward, and rainfall on the order of 2 to 3 inches in farther north areas, and then even farther south, we'll see 10 to 15 inches of rainfall. So flooding is a possibility. 2 to 3 inches per hour of flooding around Birmingham would cause some flash flooding. Kim and Nick, back to you.
Hurricane Katrina making landfall in southeastern Louisiana.
Just east of the Grand Isle area, where we've seen wind gusts up to 114 miles an hour. Waves obviously running high. Ahead, more on all the impacts.
This program is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
This is not the time to plan. Plan for weather emergencies before they happen. Be on the safe side. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit weather.com/safeside. A message from the Weather Channel and Home Depot.
I'm an AmeriQuest mortgage specialist. Whether your dream is to buy a home, refinance, or see the Rolling Stones, I'm here to help. Good. That's why we're sponsoring the Rolling Stones tour. For your chance to win tickets, go to AmeriQuest.com. AmeriQuest Mortgage, proud sponsor of the American Dream.
Hurricane Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. We've got meteorologists live from the scene.
There are some vicious squalls rotating around the outer bands here, and they've even prompted some tornado warnings.
Weather experts and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next.
It's going to be rough wherever this system comes in.
Find the latest travel delays, updated maps, and projected paths on weather.com. In-depth 24/7 coverage and analysis from the
I'll take the red one, please.
Dad!
Treat yourself to the best values of the year at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
Furniture buyers, I know you've heard about it, you've read about it, you've seen us on TV. What you've been seeing and hearing is absolutely true. This is an all-out sellout at Gordon Furniture. All 5 locations have every item on sale. If you can find your way to a Gordon Furniture location today, before closing time tonight, you will find bargains of a lifetime. Genuine leather furniture, living rooms, bedrooms, motion furniture, sectionals, recliners. It's all here, and it's all at some of the greatest values you will ever find. The all-out sellout is at a Gordon store near you.
Hurricane Katrina making landfall as we speak as a Category 4 hurricane with winds around the center of 150 miles per hour. Conditions going downhill here in New Orleans. We have reports south of town of 3 to 10 inches of rain. That's Doppler estimates, but flooding already occurring in the area. You're watching First Outlook, everyone. A historical time. This is the 4th strongest hurricane, the Atlantic Basin, now making landfall.
And its effects are going to be far-reaching, not just on the Gulf Coast, but farther toward the north, too. And that's what we want to emphasize here as we show you the 7-day forecast in the Business Planner. Look up and down the eastern United States, and you're going to see rainfall. Already this morning, we've seen some heavy rainfall around the central portions of Ohio and on into Maine. And with ground that's going to be saturated, no doubt we're going to see some flooding as the remnants of Katrina continue to push northward over the next couple of days. We're looking for 5 to 10 inches of rainfall here around the Gulf Coast all the way to the Tennessee Valley. And with classes just getting started here at many universities, we're going to find some of those second days of classes really inundated with rainfall here around, say, Middle Tennessee State University, northward up toward portions of Pennsylvania and into West Virginia, too. So we'll be on the lookout for more heavy rainfall and even some scattered amounts of 15+ inches of rainfall. Scattered showers around portions of Montana and into the Seattle area today and into tomorrow, I should say. But southward, lots of sunshine, lots of warm temperatures here, and it looks like the west coast is going to continue to bake underneath that sunshine on into midweek. We will see a better chance of a bit of rainfall here around portions of the northern plains, but the heavy rain continuing here from the Great Lakes on eastward, 4 to 8 inches from the Ohio Valley into the eastern Great Lakes for both Tuesday and Wednesday means that flooding could be a threat. It could be a life-threatening situation here over the next few days as more rainfall continues to come down from the remnants of Katrina. Thursday, a little bit less of an impact here around the northeast, and of course a lot less impact here around the south. The rain will be over, but the devastation, of course, that is certainly to occur with Katrina will go on. A lot of beach has already been eroded, will continue to be so. So beachgoers may have a tough time here for the foreseeable future, even though the dry weather and the sunshine will return. On into Friday we go, and as we head toward the weekend, we're looking at a lot more sunshine from coast to coast. It looks a lot better as far as the lack of rainfall. Just a few isolated thunderstorms in the Intermountain West. Could see some of that in western Washington as well, and a few scattered showers here around northern New England. Saturday's forecast brings more sunshine still, not only to some of the same areas that we'll find it here on into Friday, but even into New England as well. A few scattered showers into Florida and toward the northern plains and the mountain areas. Sunday's forecast looks equally as dry, and we're going to deserve this dry weather after several days of heavy rainfall here, particularly around the Great Lakes, around the Northeast, around the Mid-South, and the southern states. Let's check out the temperatures and what changes may occur here, Kim.
Well, we will see temperatures coming back up after we get rid of some of that rainfall from Katrina, and that's going to spread right through the Ohio Valley, as Nick talked about. Temperatures will be kept down into the 70s. Now, here along the Gulf Coast, of course, a lot of you heading back home will deal with temperatures in the 90s here in New Orleans as well along the Gulf Coast. Look at the 90s coming right back in. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Be prepared if you're coming home and there's damage around your home that you're going to be there with temperatures and heat indices maybe the 90s up near 100 degrees. It's going to be very uncomfortable. 60s and 70s across the upper Midwest. Here in New York City and Boston, we're going to be in the 80s, it looks like, on Wednesday. And as you know, we get closer to the weekend. We're getting into September, and it's Labor Day weekend, too. A lot of you will be traveling maybe out of Chicago, where temperatures will be in the 80s, heading up to Minneapolis. You'll be dealing with those temperatures into the 70s. How about some barbecues and picnics planned this weekend, or parades? We will see 80s across parts of the southeast. Those 90s, though, continue here along the Gulf Coast and here in the southwest. We cool down a little bit in Phoenix, maybe up around 100 degrees or so. And Sunday, it looks like 60s here in Seattle and in Portland.
The eye of Katrina making landfall right now just east of Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Of course, we've got the very latest on the storm's position and the impact, so keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Nice ride.
Thank you, Mocha Coca. Chrysler and Jeep came up on Buku Awards, and Dodge trucks last as long as the Deagle Double Chisel. Plus, I got the hookup, nephew, for sure.
You know, I'm not too sure of what you just said. Now everybody gets a great deal.
For shizzle, I can zizzle.
Get Employee Pricing Plus on remaining 2005 Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge models.
If the ride is more fly, then you must buy.
That's what I hear.
You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Today, you're a super painter with the Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. One touch, and you control a continuous flow of paint. The innovative Power Roller. One of the ways Wagner gives you more power, because there's always something that needs painting. Wagner. Paint fast. Paint smart.
The Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. Professional results fast.
People ask me all kinds of questions.
Hey, who goes there?
Orkin Man, reporting for termite inspection.
Termites? Do termites really eat wood?
A colony eats 24 hours a day.
We're doomed.
Not on my watch. At Orkin, knowledge is our best weapon. People ask me all kinds of questions.
Think it will help drive the bugs away?
Most insects don't have ears.
Lucky them.
What?
Lucky them.
At Orkin, knowledge is our best weapon. What?
What can the herd teach us about corporate and investment banking? The lead position must be earned. investment banking. Wachovia Securities. Talk to us.
Somewhere between where you are and where you're going, there's a Super 8. See you along the way.
Hurricane Katrina, a Category 4 hurricane, making landfall here in southeastern Louisiana as we speak. Now, just to the east of Grand Isle, Louisiana, while Grand Isle had a wind gust of 114 miles per hour, east of there, it is even worse.
85-mile-an-hour winds in New Orleans right now, and still the eye is a long way away from New Orleans. We're watching those wind gusts up to tropical storm force all the way to Gulfport and Biloxi. We are in storm alert here at the Weather Channel as we follow the progress of this very historic hurricane.
That's right. Jen Carfagno is here to talk about inland effects a little bit. Hey, Jen.
The effects really are going to be much farther inland and farther north as the system continues on its northbound track. And so today we're going to watch the weather going downhill in Jackson, Mississippi. Already winds gusting to 17 miles an hour, and they will go up from there. Birmingham and points in between Jackson and Birmingham and southward looking for the potential of flooding. Atlanta watching for rain and some wind, and the rain could be heavy at times.
All right, thanks, Jen. We have live reports coming up at the top of the hour with Jim Cantori, Jeff Morrow, Mike Seidel. We hope you join us then.
Keep it right here on the Weather Channel as our coverage of Katrina continues.
You see him in your rearview mirror, and suddenly you're the world's best driver. You hit the brakes, hang up the cell phone, use your turn signal. Sound familiar? Allstate knows there's a good driver in each of us. A police car shouldn't be the only thing that brings it out. So Allstate cuts safe drivers a break, up to 20%. Reward works better than punishment. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
You know, I think I'd marry you again. All these people as witnesses?
Yeah, right. Mom? Dad?
Lisa, will you marry me? Again.
This anniversary, tell her I forever do.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Our local Doppler radar. Today, slight chance of a thunderstorm, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. For tonight, cloudy with showers and thunderstorms. Humid, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. On Tuesday, rain showers in the morning with scattered thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon. Humid, high 82. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook. Incidents and construction impacting our area. Traffic flow for our area.
Waves of water are already washing over parking lots in the greater New Orleans area. Some of the first signs of the approach of Hurricane Katrina.
And I'm Jeff Morrow in Covington, Louisiana. Again, the effects of this hurricane just starting to be felt here. We've got a driving rain and some pretty gusty wind, and power is out. I'll have a live report in just a moment.
And Jeff, ditto that here at Gulfport, Mississippi, where we continue to see power flashes off in the distance. Those are the transformers blowing, and no question the rain continues to come down here. Pounding rain. Right now it's coming down straight, but it will not be for long. It'll come down horizontal as these winds pick up. We'll give you a live report coming up.
And welcome back, everyone. We are in Storm Alert here at the Weather Channel. I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Nick Walker. As Hurricane Katrina has made landfall now on the southern Louisiana coast, just east of Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Let's go ahead and give you the particulars here. The winds right now 150 miles per hour around the center. This is a Category 4 hurricane. Now, yesterday it was a Category 5 hurricane, but you know what? There's not much that much difference between a Cat 5 and a very strong Cat 4. So don't let your guard down. Right now the pressure is at 917. I believe we got a recon of 918 millibars, so it continues to weaken some, and it's moving north.
And the path will continue here to bring heavy rain and possibly damaging winds even into portions of Mississippi, Alabama, and then over the course of Tuesday and Wednesday we'll see more flooding rain from the Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley. We are into what will literally be the crunch period for the Gulf region. We have our live team coverage here at Hurricane Central as Hurricane Katrina batters the Gulf. Meteorologist Jeff Morrow is live in Covington, Louisiana, just outside of New Orleans. Meteorologist Jim Cantori is in Gulfport, Mississippi, and meteorologist Mike Seidel is live in Mobile, Alabama. Let's start with you, Jeff, and we understand that you've lost power in your area now?
Oh yeah, when we woke up this morning at the hotel early, the power was still on, and we thought, hey, well, maybe it'll stay on for a while, and this won't be so bad. You no sooner form that thought, out go the lights, literally, and it blackened there quickly. The wind's getting pretty feisty here now. We've had some pretty strong gusts, and I just want to remind everybody, again, if you're waking up right now, you're just tuning in here in Louisiana, we're waking up to a Category 4 hurricane, but it is just a category, just below Category 5. You may say, okay, it's weakened, and it has, and that's great news, but this is still one heck of a hurricane, and the pressure is still lower than Andrew was when it came ashore, and we all know what Andrew did. So again, there's going to be a lot of damage and a lot of problems from this. Now, the scenes that you're seeing here are from Kenner, Louisiana. This is not too far away from New Orleans, up along the southern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. Again, you can see some of the waves from the lake pounding up against the shoreline here. That's going to go on for most of the day. That's what they're really worried about as we head on down along the southern shoreline there of Lake Pontchartrain, whether those levees will be topped and how strong the winds are going to be, and will that water get into New Orleans and cause the massive flooding that we're so concerned about. Now, here farther on to the north, we're on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, and again, we're probably more worried about a lot of trees and power lines flying around. Again, we have seen transformer blue flashes out on the horizon, and that's an indication again that the powers are going out in many areas, and that's going to be, it's just going to be out now for the rest of the day and maybe for a while. We'll keep you updated from here. Again, much more to come. Let's go to Jim Cantori. He's farther east in Gulfport in Mississippi. And Jim, you're going to be dealing with this all day, just like me.
Yeah, Jeff, like you, though, actually, it's kind of amazing, how similar our conditions are, too. We've had the same thing, the heavy rain, we continue to get that. We've had the sporadic power outages, and actually we're lucky the power's come back on here, at least temporarily, so that's a good thing. I'm sure it won't stay on, especially given the power of this hurricane. But believe me, folks, we are just touching a very mere fraction of what we are going to deal with this hurricane. 150 miles an hour, all right? We're not even near that core yet, and as that comes rolling up past the mouth of the Mississippi River and to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, it's going to get a lot worse here as we go on in time. Think about all those beautiful casinos on the coastline. They're going to deal with the water. We haven't even dealt with the surge component of this yet. We feel pretty safe here. We're at the Armed Forces Retirement Home in Gulfport, Mississippi. This place is built like Fort Knox, and we're very, very happy to be here. We're honored to be here, obviously, and they are sitting at 27 feet above sea level. Let me show you some pictures here of that we've taken around the parking lot here, a pretty big area. and you can see the wind-whipped rain, the horizontal rain that's come on in. And yeah, it's kind of an eerie feeling when you see it kind of bouncing off the cars like that and going by the street lights. The good news is the street lights are still standing. With 150-mile-an-hour winds, we could easily see those street lights come over. We are going to see large trees down, large trees down. We hope we can bring you these kind of pictures for a long time this morning. Obviously not the ones where the trees are down and the poles are down, but the ones where everything's looking pretty good. But right now we are anticipating a lot of problems here with this, especially with the wind damage later on and the storm surge. We're going to deal with this storm, it looks like, during the daylight hours. So as long as we can bring you the pictures, we'll show you the power of these bands as they come on in. Let's go over toward Mobile, Alabama this morning. Mike, Jeff talked about the action he's having with the rain. We've seen it here, the heavy rain. What about in Mobile? Are you getting rain just as hard?
Yeah, we're getting rain right now, and we're still getting some wind gusts up here above 40 miles an hour. Peak gust is just below 50 at this point. Take a look at how the wind is whipping this rain. Jim talked about it coming down vertically where he is, not for long, but here we've got the horizontal sheets of rain here along Interstate 65. And as far as power goes, our power is still on. We do have a flash flood warning for all of Mobile County until at least 8 o'clock this morning. Doppler estimate so far 2 to 3 inches, and we'll have storm totals up between 5 and 10 inches. Forecast today again, hurricane conditions setting in during the morning hours, continuing this afternoon. Temperatures up there at 84, and we'll have wind gusts in excess of hurricane force. Tomorrow, a much better day. Maybe a leftover morning shower, but southwest winds behind Katrina, gusting as high as 30 to 35 miles an hour at times. Tomorrow's high back up to the typical late August 90 here across the southern Alabama coast. Kim?
All right, thanks, Mike. We're going to check back with you later on. And, of course, we're concerned with this area, too, for the potential of tornadoes, that area under a tornado watch. Now, here it is making landfall. It's in the process of making landfall. Now, you can see that northern eye wall coming in to that one little part, the little peninsula part of southeastern Louisiana. Grand Isle off to the west with sustained winds of 61 miles per hour. And we've had reports of 114-mile-per-hour wind gusts in that location. Again, a lot of rain, especially on that east side. Again, and that's where our folks are stationed there this morning. So we're going to be watching them real carefully. And folks in New Orleans, around Lakefront, we've had wind gusts over hurricane force already. And south of town, around the tidal lakes, we've had reports, Doppler estimates of 3 to 10 inches of rain already. And as I mentioned, of course, tornadoes a potential here with that watch in effect till noon. Now, we are concerned later as it moves inland. Folks in Mississippi, central Mississippi, this is going to impact you guys, and we could see power outages pretty likely here as that hurricane moves northward, accelerating as it does. So be prepared for power outages and, of course, for flooding, as we've been talking about all morning long. Nick?
Well, for more than a day and a half, the big concern has been getting out of the path of the storm. We trust you are out of harm's way this morning. Cars crawled as residents from New Orleans to Mobile hit the road. Some are still closed. We'll update you next.
This program was brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, it wasn't until Hurricane Charlie was over the real danger began.
I'm State Farm Agent Dan Mann, and this is a true story.
I'm a diabetic, and so when the power goes out, that's real bad.
His insulin had to stay cold.
He brought me ice.
Plus a check for emergency living expenses.
Before my neighbor even heard from his insurance company. And with all the thousands of people that needed help down here, I felt like there only one.
When you need someone most, nobody takes care of you like State Farm.
We'd love to prove it to you. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is not the time to plan. Plan for weather emergencies before they happen. Be on the safe side. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit weather.com/safeside. A message from the Weather Channel and Home Depot.
You can't always go out to send money, but you can always go to westernunion.com or dial 1-800-CALL-CASH. For every story, Western Union. When you need to send someone money in a hurry, Western Union offers you the Gold Card Rewards program. It quickly pulls your information, saving you time and paperwork.
Ah, your brother Scotty.
For every story, Western Union.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Currently, the temperature is 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Here's our local Doppler radar. Today, slight chance of a thunderstorm, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. For tonight, cloudy with showers and thunderstorms. Humid, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. On Tuesday, rain showers in the morning with scattered thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon. Humid, high 82. Chance of rain 50%. Our 7-day outlook. Incidents and construction impacting our area. Traffic flow for our area.
Hurricane Katrina, a strong Category 4 hurricane, making landfall as we speak. Again, it will continue to weaken slightly as it continues to make landfall, but it is still a very intense and dangerous hurricane. We want folks not to let their guard down. Landfall is imminent, as mentioned, but impacts are going to be felt even farther north than the Gulf Coast.
They really are. We're going to find ourselves from the Ohio Valley to the Great Lakes with 4 to 8 inches of rain. Cincinnati, heavy rains and strong winds are possible into tomorrow. We'll also be watching areas around Cleveland for heavy rain and strong winds. Some areas from the Gulf Coast to the Tennessee Valley could get 5 to 10 inches, maybe locally heavier amounts to 15. Pittsburgh, not that much rain, but still heavy rain and strong winds possible on into Wednesday.
And Jen Carfagna, our travel analyst, joining us now. And of course, folks are concerned about traveling today, Jen.
Yeah. And we've been talking about the area in southeastern Louisiana, coastal Mississippi and Alabama, but the effects are going to be inland, as you've been talking about. And I checked the airlines. It looks like they are not allowing changes without fees to some of the inland airports like Atlanta and Birmingham and Nashville. But I would call your airline. You know, they don't want you to be stranded anymore than you want to be. And so if you're traveling today, keep tabs on your flights. There will be delays and cancellations as we head through the day at other airports. I want to run down the list of the closures. New Orleans, both airports there, International and Lakefront, closed. Gulfport, Biloxi Airport is closed. The Mobile Airport is closed. And the Pensacola Airport closed as well. Okay, today in Louisville, we'll expect some delays and cancellations. This will be late. You should get through most of the day without a lot of problems here. Memphis, it's going to be possible cancellations, but delays will be likely. The winds will be gusty. We will see some rain bands here. And in Atlanta, same story. So watching for delays likely. There may be a few cancellations. We've been dealing with record air travel this summer. The planes are running full. And so if there are cancellations, that certainly will cause an impact for folks trying to get where they need to go. Let's show you what we have going on right now. I want to take you to the Gulf Coast. We're looking here, New Orleans, just off to the edge of the screen. And we'll take you along Interstate 10 to show you where we have the heaviest of rainfall. New Orleans, flash flood warning. We also have flash flood warning here around the Mobile area. The rain coming down steadily and heavily. New Orleans now wind gusts here to 85 miles an hour. The wind is gusting to 50 miles an hour in Biloxi, and in Pensacola the wind gusting to 30 miles an hour. And the gusty winds do extend farther north along, say, Interstate 59 and 55. As you make your way northward, we're getting gusty winds this morning. I'll show you the forecast, and the forecast we're going to keep tabs on today is these interstates 55 and 59 and 65. 45 and in between for the rainfall to be a concern on the roads. We will see some flooding today. It's potentially here for us into southwestern Alabama, into central and southern Mississippi. Tough travel for folks here as we head through the afternoon. Get what you need to done it now around Jackson and say around Meridian as well. All right, let's talk about the other roads in the area. If you're traveling on Interstate 40 this morning, no major problems. But later on today, and especially tonight into tomorrow, we're looking at the showers and the rain and the windy conditions heading in this area. So I-40 right into Tennessee. Kim and Nick.
Thank you, Jen. Continuing coverage throughout the morning here of Hurricane Katrina.
We'll have live reports coming up at the top of the hour. Dr. Steve Lyons also joining us for the tropical update. You don't want to miss this. Stick around.
This program was brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
The Kia Amante. Rich leather. 9-speaker CD sound system. Power everything. Spacious and comfortable. With 8 standard airbags and all backed by a 10-year warranty program. The Kia Amante Premium Sedan. It's time for everyone to start living big.
Hurricane Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. We've got meteorologists live from the scene.
There are some vicious squalls rotating around the outer bands here, and they've even prompted some tornado warnings.
Weather experts and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next.
It's going to be rough wherever this system comes in.
Find the latest travel delays, updated maps, and projected paths on weather.com. In-depth 24/7 coverage and analysis from the weather.
Confused by the claims DSL's been making? Blah, blah, fast, blah, blah, cool. Look, the fact is, Comcast high-speed internet blows DSL away. We're talking speeds up to 5 times faster. More speed means you can do more online. With exclusive features that, well, DSL just doesn't have. So if you're settling for DSL, you're getting left behind. No wonder more people across America choose Comcast high-speed internet. Call 1-888-COMCAST today.
So get Comcast high-speed internet today and surf tonight. So get Comcast high-speed internet at Best Buy for only $19.99 a month for 6 months, plus a free modem, a self-install kit, and $75 Best Buy gift card.
Once you know, you go.
History in the making this morning as Hurricane Katrina is making landfall on the coast of Louisiana.
And Dr. Steve Lyons, our hurricane expert, is on board now to talk about its impacts this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Morning, Kim, and we're looking at a landfall in southeastern Louisiana, almost, not quite. The eye wall is over extreme southeastern Louisiana near Port Sulphur and Venice. The eye is still just offshore right there. You see it. It's going to come onshore within about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a half hour or so. Now, here's New Orleans here. We expect the eye to move to the east of New Orleans. The closest approach to the northwestern portion of the eye wall will be about 3 hours from now. This is about 60 miles. The northern eye wall here is about 45 miles from New Orleans, and it's moving at 15 miles per hour. So about 3 hours, you're going to get your worst conditions, and the strongest winds will probably be in southeastern Louisiana. You're going to be closest to the eye wall there. That's the time when the surge potential is probably going to be the highest as well, and when your winds are going to be the best and the strongest, and the damage is going to be the greatest. Now, the system is going to move continually to the north. In about 4 to 6 hours is going to be the worst conditions up in Mississippi, and that's when these eastern portion of the eye wall is going to come slamming into the coastline. Now right now we have some conditions along the coast that indicate that the surge is already 8 feet at Waveland, Mississippi. That's the highest report we have right now, a surge of 8 feet, and it's nowhere near the eye wall, so we expect that to really increase as that comes up over the next 3 to 5 hours. So don't stay in the low-lying areas very long. If you're already down there, you know it's very bad. Now we have a storm total precipitation you can see here already exceeding 6 inches in southeastern Louisiana, and so we're going to expect that to encroach on New Orleans, and the potential for flooding along the coastline and inland is going to increase the next 2 to 3 hours. We could see street flooding in New Orleans. The pumps are probably running to try to keep that water off the streets, but the water's going to rise because the rainfall rates are probably 2 to 3 inches per hour there. Notice also there's a rather wide swath of rain over Florida and heading into Georgia, so the overall larger circulation is producing rain well away from the center, the core of circulation. Now here's our projected water rises associated with the surge. We've already seen 8 feet there, and it's nowhere near the eye wall. 16 to 22 feet locally where that eye wall comes on shore, and it looks like it may be that coastal Mississippi may get the worst surge of all because the eye is going to be to the east of New Orleans. We'll have to see if any of that water tops the levee system. It's too early to tell that yet, but the center of circulation will move to the east of downtown New Orleans. In the meantime, surge will have spread off to the east a little bit as well because the circulation is large. Then over here we have large waves that have been producing 2 to 3 foot water rises along the coast as well. So that's going to continue, and that will rise as the system makes landfall and the southerly winds come in. The wave action will come up to 25 to 35 feet along the extreme eastern portions of the Florida Panhandle, western portions of Florida Panhandle, eastern portions of the Alabama coastline, and a little bit lower, a little bit farther to the east in the Panhandle. So these are the highest waves out here. These waves are breaking well offshore here. These are going to be on the beach and causing significant beach erosion the next 12 hours. Now as the system moves inland, the greatest impact for direct impact to structures, trees falling down, power out, lines falling down, roofs blowing off of buildings, is going to be in this red area here that includes southeastern Louisiana primarily, including the New Orleans area, and that's primarily southeastern portions of New Orleans. Gulfport, Biloxi is also in that, and of course down here in extreme southern Louisiana, they're going to get probably the worst condition of all. As the system moves to the north, it may weaken slightly, but it's still a very strong Category 4 hurricane, and those strong winds are going to spread inland over the next 24 hours. We could have some significant direct structure damage well inland into Louisiana, Mississippi, and portions of Alabama as well. Power outages, we've already seen a large number of those power outages. Those are going to extend inland, and those outages are going to be severe. You're not going to get your power outages back very quickly. So hunker down, the worst is yet to come. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Dr. Steve Lyons, our hurricane expert.
We continue our coverage of Hurricane Katrina with hurricane force wind gusts now into southern Louisiana.
This program was brought to you by the UPS Store, the place for help and a whole lot more.
Whether you're running a busy household or a small business, chances are you have a lot going on. Well, there's one place that can help you handle it all.
Don't you worry about a thing.
The UPS Store. If you need help with packing and shipping, need someone to print, collate, and bind a presentation for your small business, or a mailbox where someone can sign for your packages, let the UPS Store worry about it. That's our thing.
Don't you worry about a thing.
The UPS Store, the place for packing, shipping, and a whole lot more.
I got customers coming in from 4 corners of the world. To them, this is the bank of US of A. These are self-made individuals in this neighborhood. We understand that and what that means. They have saved sizable amounts of money that they entrust to us, and they come to us every day for financial advice. Some of these businesses are 3rd generation. Most of them definitely 2nd generation. As any merchant or shop owner, the first bank that would pop up would be Bank of America. I'm Hutchins Hung. I'm a banker, and I'm proud to be part of Bank of America. We're not too big of a bank, even to the smallest business. We still offer them the most sophisticated banking there is in this world. We're proud to be the cornerstone of the neighborhood. So when the neighborhood succeeds, Bank of America succeeds. I always have my breakfast here.
Try the rice cake. It's the best in the city.
Bank of America. Higher standards.
There's a certain team in Senior Division B, the Exiles. They're young, fast, and undefeated. On Sunday, they will lose because we've taped all their plays. We've downloaded all their games. We've even trained with obscure Brazilian drill software. It's our heads versus their feet. And this time, we'll win.
Start something victorious. Start anything you like with a world of software and devices that run on Windows.
Hurricane Katrina weakening only slightly as it makes landfall in southern Louisiana this morning.
The latest now winds 145 miles per hour around the center, but a tornado watch continues to be in effect until noon, and we do have several tornado warnings out. Here in Louisiana, we have Plaquemines Parish as well as St. Bernard Parish under tornado warnings, and Mobile continues to be under a tornado warning as well. Where you see the green, those are flash flood warnings, and again, some areas of Louisiana seeing already 6 to 10 inches of rain.
Jen Carfagno, our travel analyst, keeping a close eye on your travels through this mess this morning.
Flash flood warning still for New Orleans and Mobile. Folks are not getting out on the roads there today. We want folks to stay inside. And as travelers continue there and into Hattiesburg, Mississippi, we'll watch the weather continue to go downhill as well through the day.
All right, thanks, Jen. We'll continue our live coverage here on Hurricane Katrina. Again, weakening now, winds 145 miles per hour around the center.
Stay with us here on the Weather Channel as we continue to bring you live reports from the Gulf Coast this morning.
Hello, Farmers Help Point. How can I help you?
Hi, this is not just got rear-ended by some yahoo.
Are you okay?
Well, I'm fine. My car's a little busted up, though.
No problem. We'll take care of it.
How fast can Farmers Help Point service get your car fixed after an accident? Well, you get the idea. Help Point is free with your policy. To find an agent near you, call 1-800-FARMERS.
I got the fresh house in my hands. I got the fresh house in my hands. With fresh step cat litter, when your cat steps, odors are neutralized and your house is fresher. I got the fresh house in my hands.
You've already achieved the American dream. But are there any more dreams in the family? Then call or log on to Ditech.com. The lender fee is just $395. Ditech.com. We give credit to your dreams.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Here's our local Doppler radar. Today, slight chance of a thunderstorm, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. For tonight, cloudy with showers and thunderstorms. Humid, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. On Tuesday, rain showers in the morning with scattered thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon. Humid, high 82. Chance of rain 50%. Our week ahead. incidents and construction impacting our area.
Katrina coverage continues here on the Weather Channel, Hurricane Central.